it is hardly a week after the installation of the LUO KER. It was attended by Raila Amolo Odinga. I want to explain who a KER is in Luo, especially to the non-Luos. There are three arms of the Luos. When they left Sudan and came this way towards Lake Victoria. They are called Nilotics because they followed the river Nile. Now, when they came, they were divided into three groups. One went to south in the present-day Tanzania, and they were headed by a leader, a KER. They were headed by a KER called Owiny. That they are found in an area called Mara. That is why whenever Dio Misiani, Daniel Owino Misiani, would talk politics in Kenya, Moi government would threaten him that saying, you are a foreigner and you are not supposed to interfere in our local politics. So we had those Luos in Tanzania, in the Mara region. They were headed by a KER called Owiny. You can call them Jack Owiny, although Jack Owiny also has another connotation of a widow inheritor. The second one was headed up in what today is called Kenya, or what we can say part of Kenya which previously used to be Uganda. These are the Luos who are found in Kenya. They were headed by a KER called Ramogi. They were headed by a KER called Ramogi. And there is a third one which ended up in the present-day Uganda. They were headed by a KER called Apathola. Now you find the Luos in Kenya and the Luos in Tanzania call themselves Luo. But the Luos in Uganda, occasionally and in many cases, they call themselves Jabathola. We are going to, now there were three KERs. There was the KER called Apathola. There was a KER called Ramogi. And there was a KER called Owiny. The KER who was called Ramogi settled in Siaya, a place called Kangogi Jaramogi. Those places kuna pahali hata pia panaitwa Nyamira. Sio tu ile Nyamira Kisii peke yake. But although I'm called Lando, my father was called Lando, but I've no Luo blood, but I can talk about Luo. These people, he settled in a place called Kangogi Jaramogi. Now when he settled there, a KER, now defining a KER to a modern day historian, KER is not a king, although he's a king, because that one is inherited. Now calling KER as a king, you will be wrong, because a king was like a kabaka. You know, kabaka was, those days, a king is what we can call a dictator. So KER was a king, yes, but he was not a dictator. KER was more like a Laibon, Masai Laibon. But then he was not also a Laibon, because Laibon was a traditional leader, most likely to do with medicine man. But Ker was not a medicine. He was a wise man who dealt mostly on conflict resolutions, and he was the custodian of the LUO traditions. He was the custodian of the LUO traditions. So yes, he could be a king, he could be, but mostly he was a person who was who kept the traditions alive, who used to advise people on the right things to do, the right whatever, how to live well. That was your care. Now, and that is why, although things are changing, you may even find a non-Luo or even a Luo today being born and given the name Ramogi. But among the Luos, especially the Luos of Kenya, having the name Ramogi against your name was a sort of a taboo. Was a sort of a taboo. That is why you find that in the modern day Kenya, only 2 known people are known to have used the name. Ramogi Ochieng Oneko. Ramogi Ochieng Oneko, he can trace his lineage, ancestral lineage, from himself all the way to Ramogi. And then there was Jaramogi, Abednego, Adonijah, Oginga Odinga. He used to be called Jaramogi, meaning of the Ramogi family. When the original Ramogi died, one of his sons became when the original Ramogi died, one of his sons became the Ker. When that son died, another one took that way, that way, that way. It went that way until it reached Adonijah, Abednego, Oginga Odinga, aka Jaramogi. When it reached Adonijah, Abednego, he added something on the description of Ker. Actually, he added 2 definitions. Number 1, he told Luos that business has started. So they started a very big company where Luos had shares. It was called LUO Thrift Company. It became very big. In fact, one of his students, Ramogi Ochieng Oneko, was also a senior person in the LUO Thrift Company. Iliendelea sana. It is on record as the first company to produce something that can be called either a superstore or a supermarket. It was called Maseno Stores. He continued. Now he was a cultural person. He became a cultural leader. He added a business leader. Luos entered in business through LUO Thrift Company. From there, he became a political leader. You know, LUO arrangement that time, each tribe had its own arrangement. LUO, or even politics as we know of it today, many tribes did not have things like politics. Ati kwenda huko unaanza kucampaign, a competition between 2 liars. The one who lies best is the one who is elected. Leaving the one who lies least kwanza complain, unaona mlipromisiwa hii. That is politics. Those politics were not there. Anybody in authority used to take over from, inherit. One of the sons would inherit. But then the British brought in the elective elections, and Jaramogi entered into elective elections. How did he enter into elective elections? what happened was that Jomo Kenyatta, unajua ni sungura mjanja. I've told you before, alikoroga watu wa Kikuyu because they didn't know how to write, akakuwa mtu wa karani wa Kikuyu Central, akakoroga hivi. So when he was going around Kenya, recruiting people into Kenya African Union, upon reaching Luo land, he saw two things in Jaramogi. He saw a rich person. You know, that time Jaramogi was very rich. Unge compare Jomo Kenyatta na Jaramogi. In fact, when they met, I can dare say that my managers wa Jaramogi were more richer than Jomo Kenyatta. But Jomo Kenyatta, sungura mjanja, everywhere he goes anaangalia kando kando, anakon watu wanasonga mbele, anaangalia kando kando, anakon watu wanasonga mbele. He saw a talent in Jaramogi. This is a single person who has a hold on the Luo tribe because he was the KER. This is a person who has a lot of money. Na yeye akaangalia hiyo pesa, Kenya African Union would need it. So he convinced Jaramogi to join politics. And that is how Jaramogi became a politician. Now, Jaramogi became a politician while he was a KER. Somewhere hapo mbeleni, after some time, you know, Luos usually have a committee of elders. Kama sahi unaweza enda huko Karen unakuta there is a group of Luos who meet and discuss things. Luo. I've forgotten the name, but somebody will make a comment in the comment section. When they meet at that meeting, the definition of a KER was described to Jaramogi. By then, Jaramogi was so much into politics because being a KER, you are a Luo leader. You are a Luo leader, and Jaramogi was now a national leader. So it was felt that he gives up one. To him, he saw being a national leader was better than being a Luo leader. Then the seat of the KER became vacant, and it went on that way until his death. When he died, they wanted to revive the KER thing, but the Jaramogi family, because the right person to have taken KER now would have been Dr. Oburu. But then the Jaramogi family being the Jaramogi family being the rightful occupier of the seat of KER, decided to take it out of the family. And they said that it is going to be taken out in a form of elections. So there's a way they elect a representative from each area, and then they go and meet somewhere where they now elect the overall KER. And why is Raila attending those meetings? Raila is attending those meetings as the bloodline of Ramogi. He's attending those meetings as the bloodline of Ramogi. His story mnaambiwa ati sijui yeye ni muanga. He is of the lineage of the original KER in Kenya. And that is why, although the constitution, if we can call it, of Luoness, changed it in such a way that from now henceforth, KERs will be elected mostly by consensus, but if consensus can't agree, they go into election. So they decided to do that, but they have to honor the lineage of the original KER, and that is why a member of that original KER family has to be there. Thank you.